sister, don't wear it. It's me. It's my personal choice.
But yes, and in a free society, the opinions of other people also have to matter. It's not just about you exercising your choice. The way other people feel about that should be of some concern to you.
But you know, these feelings are coming from negative prejudices.
We have
coming from
You don't want men's opinions?
No.
You don't want men's opinions?
I'm sorry, we are going to have to end it there. I'm really sorry.
As the only man, I'm sorry you don't want to hear men's opinions.
Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be diving into something a little bit different from our usual niche. So today we're going to be diving into it's highly undesirable Douglas Murray schools Muslim activists wearing niqab in Britain. So stick around with me to the end of the video.
My mum, my sister, don't wear it. It's me. It's my personal choice.
But yes, and in a free society, the opinions of other people also have to matter. It's not just about you exercising your choice. The way other people feel about that should be of some concern to you.
But you know, these feelings are coming from negative prejudices.
We have
coming from
You don't want men's opinions?
No.
You don't want men's opinions?
I'm sorry, we are going to have to end it there. I'm really sorry.
As the only man, I'm sorry you don't want to hear men's opinions.
You are about to see Douglas Murray tell the truth as it is. Douglas Murray debates a panel of Muslim scholars on the influence of religion, particularly Islam, in the West today. Douglas Murray speaks what is on most people's mind today in the West, but what most are afraid to say. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Can I just begin with you, Fatima?
Yes.
56% of British people don't really support the wearing of the full face veil in public. They don't want it.
Well, I think it depends on where you take the poll, really, because, something that I've recently launched is a project called Secrets of a Muslim Woman, and it's all about letting people know why we do what we do, because I think a lot of it is to do with not really being familiar with it. You know, I mean, my message to the British public is that you've got nothing to fear. You know, this is a piece of cloth.
They don't feel that, though, do they? Because elsewhere in this poll, a majority said they don't know how to relate to a woman wearing a full face veil.
I think, you know, the people who have actually interacted with women who wear the face veil, people who work with them. I mean, we're in East London today. In East London, the veil is practically, you know, normal on the streets of East London. People who've actually interacted and worked with women who wear the veil have absolutely no problem with it.
Douglas
I think
Murray,
it's the fear of the unknown.
Douglas Murray, would you like to see the veil banned here?
Well, I think, like a majority of British people, I think that it should be banned in public places, particularly places like courtrooms, where it's absolutely imperative that a jury are able to see the faces of people who are accused. As for an overall ban, I think, look, my own opinion is that niqab is highly undesirable. I think that we live in a society where people do show their faces, where huge amounts of our social interaction depend on people showing their faces. I think that it's very difficult to enforce a ban in public places like streets, but it should be certainly a desirable thing to discourage its wearing.
To impose a ban, but in principle you'd like to see one because you think in Britain it's unacceptable.
In public buildings, in courts, in schools, and places like this, absolutely, I think a ban would be very sensible. In streets and so on, I think it's difficult, but it should be societally discouraged.
Douglas Murray's stance on the ban of the niqab in public spaces in the UK, particularly in sensitive environments like courtrooms, is grounded in a broader argument about the fundamental requirements of a liberal and open society. A significant portion of human communication relies on facial expressions and visual cues, which are obscured when the niqab is worn. This impediment can hinder social interactions and, more critically, the basic operations of institutions that rely on facial recognition and expressions for identification and communication purposes. Douglas Murray's argument is supported by statistics and public opinion trends indicating a growing discomfort with the niqab in the UK. Surveys, such as those conducted by YouGov, have shown that a substantial majority of the British public supports restrictions on wearing the niqab in public spaces, especially in places where identification and open communication are essential, such as schools, airports, and courtrooms. This sentiment is not isolated to the UK. Similar attitudes can be observed across Europe, with countries like France, Belgium, and Denmark implementing various bans on full-face veils. The Muslim activists' counter-argument that negative sentiments towards the niqab stem from a lack of education and interaction with Muslim women who wear it, while calling for more understanding, overlooks the practical implications of such garments in public and civic life. It's essential to differentiate between promoting cultural sensitivity and recognizing the operational necessities of a society's public and legal systems. Beyond practical reasons, the niqab's presence in public life raises deeper questions about the integration and visibility of women in society. Critics like AI and Hirsi Ali have voiced concerns that the niqab may symbolize the segregation of women from public life and the suppression of their individual identities. Such perspectives are crucial in the debate over how liberal societies should navigate the delicate balance between respecting cultural and religious practices and upholding the principles of equality and openness.
We accommodate religious expression in this country. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses who don't want blood transfusions, Sikh people who want to wear turbans. We make exceptions, you know, in certain situations. And so, look, you know, I really want to reach out to the public and say, you've got nothing to fear from us.
But take up
British. I was born in this country. I love this country.
Take up Yasmin's point that this is about exceptionalism. Take up Yasmin Alabai-Brown's point about this is about exceptionalism.
We accommodate, don't we, in this country, and in my country, Britain, we accommodate religious expression. And we do make exceptions for people. And there's nothing, and that's what I thought.
And we cannot destroy the minorities and the religious belief in the name of equality.
But what if the majority feel uncomfortable, feel uneasy and say they don't want it?
I think then the onus is on us as well, isn't it? I mean, to actually reach out. And I'm hoping that this is just going one step towards that, to say to people, look, you know, we're human beings just like you.
But if I
may
very quickly, religious freedom is an extremely important thing. And I think most people who would agree, I hope in this room, that Britain is the most tolerant place in the world to live, including as a Muslim.
Yeah.
But let's just add one thing to this, if I may. The issue of social interaction is very important, and not just to me, but obviously to a majority of the British people. Yeah. What I say tonight, what Yasmin says and other people say tonight, people see our faces, they know who said it. I'm sorry to say this, but nobody knows who you are. They can hear your name, they can't see you. If I say something stupid on television tonight, people know it's me saying it. If you do, with all due respect, you can disappear and no one knows.
No, we're not.
Exactly.
What does this say?
Come
the
on.
meaning of this thing is extremely important to address. The meaning of this thing is women are by nature dangerous to men and society. Therefore, they must be covered, they must be buried. That's the meaning of it. And that's what I cannot accept.
Douglas Murray, aligning with Yasmin Alabai-Brown's commentary, emphasizes that the niqab symbolizes more than just a religious or cultural garment. It represents a deeper ideological stance on the role and visibility of women in society. The niqab reflects a view that women are inherently a source of temptation, necessitating their physical concealment from the public eye to maintain societal decorum. This perspective inherently contradicts the principles of gender equality and individual freedom championed in liberal societies. This critique resonates with broader feminist analyses of veiling practices. Scholars and activists argue that requiring women to cover their faces in public is a manifestation of patriarchal control over women's bodies and choices. Such practices, they assert, not only segregate women from the social and political life of their communities, but also reinforce the notion that women are primarily responsible for controlling men's sexual behavior, thereby perpetuating gender inequality. Statistics from various human rights organizations underscore the impact of such ideologies on women's rights and societal integration. For instance, reports from the United Nations have highlighted how dress codes enforced on religious or cultural grounds can impede women's access to services, employment, and education, limiting their opportunities for personal and economic development. The encouragement of niqab wearing in public settings not only hinders women's visibility and participation in public life, but also symbolically takes a step back in the hard-won advancements for women's rights. The niqab, in this view, is not just a personal or isolated choice, but a public statement with implications for how women's roles and rights are perceived and enacted in society.
Wow, this is a very deep conversation, like technically, because whenever when this conversation started, the first thing I went to check is what is the reason behind the wearing of the hijab or the niqab. You know, the first thing I saw on the internet is, according to the internet, it says it serves as a protection for women from the male gaze, especially from unrelated men. So let's talk about that male gaze, for example, first of all, before I start going into details of what they discussed in this video. Now, the male gaze they are referring to here, I would think they are referring to it in the aspect of lustfulness, like looking at another person's wife or woman in a lustful way. That is the thinking I have behind it. that is the reason why they wear it, and that is number one. And number two, they wear it basically because it is required of them in their religion, But get this point of mine, right? This is what I'm confused about. Now, I have seen so many Muslim ladies that are not wearing hijab. So this is where the imbalance comes for me. First of all, is why is it that some wear it and some don't wear it? Now, according to her, she said it is a personal decision to either wear your hijab or not to wear your hijab. So I get that point perfectly well. Then, thirdly, um, again, I feel like one of the reasons why they wear the hijab is because, like, if no man is to see you except your husband, I think in that aspect, like, no man is allowed to gaze upon you, look at you, talk to you, except your husband. I think that is the reason, based off their religion and everything, and I understand that perfectly well. But then here comes my own opinion of it all. Now, firstly, right, I get that these things are required by your religion. But look at this, number one, sensitive places like the courtroom. I'm going to use that as an example, right? Now, let's imagine you are accused of a crime. You are accused of a crime, right? There was this case I was watching recently, and you know, when I think I can't remember the details of the case, but I just remember seeing the judgment of the judge after the jury gave their recommendation. One of the things the jury said on the note is, that he he displayed lack of emotion, lack of remorse, lack of compassion towards the crime he has committed. Now, they won't know that if his face or her face was covered up. Yes, you can't read someone's facial expression, especially in a courtroom, if their face is covered up. So for me, I feel like it is not technically necessary, especially in a court of law, because just the same way people respect your religious rights, you should also respect the law. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from in all this. People respect that, oh, your religion states that you need to wear the hijab, you need to be with it. But when it comes to things like going to the court of law or being presented to defend yourself in a case, we need to see your face. Even though I've not actually seen a woman fully clothed in a hijab being judged, I feel like those people don't commit crimes. I don't know, maybe it's my own perception of the whole thing, because I've never seen any of them commit any crime. So I feel like in that aspect, so there are rare amount of them that actually go to commit crime, that requires them to be in the court of law. But I feel like, I've seen cases where the full cover has been used to commit crimes. I'm not going to be mentioning stating any decent, but you can actually Google it and see references to that. Now, but that aside, like, but for me personally, I've not seen where fully clothed hijab women commit crimes. It is those people that wear it in disguise and use it to commit crime. Those are the people that I'm referring to in these cases. That is number one. And again, like I said in one of my videos, I said when you go to Rome, you act like a Roman. So when you are in a British country and they tell you, please, we would like to see your face, so that when we're making a judgment, when we're putting in consideration your case, we could actually know if you are guilty. Because sometimes you can know if someone is lying through their face. Yes, you can know if someone is angry through their face. You can know if someone is happy through their face. But when the face is covered up, you don't know how to read all those things. So, like the guy said, that's Douglas said on the video, he said he can say something today on the video, and people will be like, oh, Douglas said this. He can make a hate comment, and they'll be like, oh, Douglas made a hate comment. He can make a motivational comment. They'll be like, oh, Douglas made a motivational comment. But if she was to make a hate comment today and decide that she's gonna disappear from the face of the earth tomorrow, no one knows her face, which I feel it is unjustifiably wrong for me. I'm not even coming in the aspect that the hijab represents women the valuation and stuff like that. I'm not going to come in that aspect because, like she said, it's a personal choice. So it's a personal choice to decide whether to wear it or not to wear it. But the fact where I'm coming from, in public places like this kind of place or in the court of law, we need to know the face of the person that is saying what they are saying. Not that you hide behind the veil. After you say what you say, you just disappear. That's not fair for me. That's not fair. That's totally unfair. So I respect what the hijab stands for because, like I said, it stands for, you know, your religious value that you don't want, your face alone is meant for your husband. Me, I respect the hijab on its own, but the full cover is what me I don't really understand. Like I understand covering your hair, wearing the normal hijab, and your face is still visible. One can actually read your facial expression. One can actually see the person they're talking to, and not feel like they're talking to a total stranger. And for me, right, when we're growing up, for me, this is not basically based on religion right now. For me, when we're growing up, we only know that you cover off your face when you want to do something bad. You try to hide your face from the camera when you want to commit something bad. So that is the impression I had growing up about anything concerning wearing of masks. But in today's world, we know that some people wear masks for trending, for the trending outfit and all that stuff. So, like I said, no matter how they wear the masks for trending outfit, when they go to the court of law, they have to remove it. They have to remove it. So that is something me I'm saying. If you're in the court of law, please respect the law. Respect the law. The same way we respect each other's religion, let's try to respect the law because at the end of the day, I believe that our religion will still tell us to respect the government, to respect the law of the country we are living in. So please, peace be to you all, and I love you, every single one of you. Thank you for sticking to this part of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this YouTube channel. And also feel free to use our Barbecue feeling to make priority requests on the next video like this on our YouTube channel. Until our next video, remain blessed. Bye.